Do you set goals? And if you do, how clear are they? How specific are they? Many people say they set goals, but they can be kind of vague. You may be familiar with the concept of SMART goals. Let's talk about that. SMART goals is an acronym for the S stands for specific, M, measurable, A, action-oriented, R, realistic, and T is time-bound. So again, you don't want it to be vague. It should be very, very specific. There should be some kind of a measurement to actually, when the goal is achieved, how will you know? So that's what the measurement is all about. And you have to be able to do something. It's got to be action-oriented, realistic too, by the way. And some people set unrealistic goals. It's way too much of a stretch. Some people are a little bit feeble in terms of setting the goals and conservative. My recommendation is it should be a little bit of a stretch, right? And it should be time-bound, so it shouldn't be open-ended. Let's look at a couple of examples. Here we go. Hire 5 highly qualified financial analysts by the end of this quarter. You see how that actually satisfies the SMART criteria? We know we want to hire 5. 5 what? Highly qualified financial analysts. And so we do have to do something. We have to recruit these people, et cetera. There are a lot of sub-steps here, right? And then it's time-bound by the end of this quarter. How will we know that's done? Well, by the end of the quarter, we will have 5 highly qualified financial analysts, ready to go and at work. That would be one example. Here's another one, more of a personal one. Becoming managing director of my department within the next 2 years. So again, if you look at that closely, you'll see that those would satisfy the requirements of a SMART goal. And in your handouts, there are additional examples. Now, let's go to the next step. And I think of this is the supercharger for the SMART goal, and I refer to this as the affirmations. So now what you want to do is go back to the SMART goals, and in fact the ones that we just covered, and how do you write an affirmation? So you're not changing the goal, but you're now going to write an affirmation, and here's how affirmations work. First of all, the affirmation penetrates the unconscious mind, which, as I've mentioned before, is responsible for about 80% of what we do, analogous to the iceberg. Next, they need to be phrased in the first person, I, present tense, and must be positive. Avoid words like am not, don't, etc. Affirmations are more powerful than goal statements and involve positive self-talk. The more you use them, the better. So now time to write your affirmations. How do you do that? Well, you want to convert your goals into affirmations. Again, you're using the same information. You are not changing the goal fundamentally. What you're going to do, though, is rewrite it in the first person, present tense, and positively stated. Here are some examples. See if you can see the difference. So this quarter, I am hiring 5 of the best financial analysts available. In this example, very subtle, but in the first person, I, and present tense, am, not will. And there's a really important distinction. Again, it's what your subconscious will act on and how you want to direct your subconscious. So if you say I will, well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. And that's actually future. It's related to the future versus I am. In other words, this is happening, right? And that would be an affirmation. Here's another example, and this is based on the goals that we just covered. I am becoming managing director of my department. So again, same thing. It's first person, I. It's present tense, am. So there's no question about that. So you're in the process. You're on your way to becoming that. So I'll share one more thing with you. Think about this. So some people will say, for instance, I will not fail. Whatever the endeavor is, whatever the circumstance is, I will not fail. I will not fail. That's an affirmation. Some people will use that as an affirmation. There's a better way to say that, and I'm sure you probably have already guessed that. So rather than saying, I will not fail, essentially you're going to be saying the same thing, but say, I am succeeding. I am succeeding. Listen how that sounds. I will not fail. The subconscious mind is hearing fail, fail, fail. versus I am succeeding, and the subconscious mind is hearing succeed, succeed, succeed. So you're using, again, positive words. That's part of what an affirmation is involved with, again, using positive language as well. Moving along, okay, there's 3 parts to goal setting. So there's goal setting, there's affirmations, and finally, visualization. This is really powerful. And by the way, the 3 work together. So we're not switching gears here. Set the goal, do not change that goal, convert it into an affirmation, as we just did, and now you want to visualize. This is a very powerful concept used especially with athletes, but also in the corporate environment. So let's talk about this. So in a sense, you see the movie reel here, you're directing a movie in your mind. My recommendation is find a quiet place. So let's say you're giving a presentation and it's to a group of senior leaders, and it's going to be in the boardroom, and you're very familiar with the environment. So let's assume that. So now, in order to rehearse that, let's say you can rehearse that in the privacy of your own home, in the privacy of your home office, etc. What I recommend is find a quiet place, wherever that might be, and now play that through in your mind's eye, okay? So ask yourself, who is with you? Is there anyone there? Where are you? What do you see? How do you look? What do you hear? Anything? View the scene from above as if you're a fly on the wall and you're looking down. Who's sitting where? Who are the players? Where are they situated? What do you anticipate in terms of questions, in terms of the various personalities of how they may act or react? Zoom in and out. Everything should be ideal and perfect. Really take it all in. And this requires concentration. Again, sit in a very quiet place, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and based on whatever the situation is, and think about the outcome that you're hoping to achieve, play that all the way through. Feel the chair that you're sitting in. Feel your feet being planted firmly on the ground. If there's coffee brewing, smell the coffee. And envision or visualize kind of where you're sitting, who's to your right, who's to your left, who's in front of you. What is the interaction like? And so, again, when we combine goals with affirmations and visualization, we have 5 to 10 times the likelihood that we will achieve whatever goal that we set. Now, time to go back to your professional challenge worksheet. You'll want to pause the program and work this out. Be specific. Write your desired outcome for your situation. What is the desired outcome? And by the way, it may be more than one. There may be 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals as a desired outcome. Write it out using SMART goals, convert it to the affirmations, and then, and this is more than just one practice, visualize. This concludes Module 5. As a quick recap, we covered goal setting, setting SMART goals, converting those into affirmations, and then using visualization. Really a triple whammy to achieving our goals relative to the situation that you identified in Step 1 of the Professional Challenge Worksheet. Now we move into Module 6, and we dig deep into the 10 traits of a positive thinker.